Think we're live.
All right.
Are we live? I believe we are. What is up, everyone? Hello, hello. Hope you guys are all having yourself a fantastic Thursday night. I have a special guest with me, Miss Ashley Bryant. Um,
There you go.
and we're just talking just now about really the focus of tonight. I think to me, Ashley is somebody who is a not only a seasoned copper, and of course you have experience, which I love, by the way. But I think the biggest thing that I really want to focus on with you, Ashley, is making sure that Ashley is evolving and getting to that next level.
Mhm.
All right, really making sure that not only because again you have the skill set in place, I think you have the ability to get your clients results. But I think the focus, based on our past conversations, because I know we've had some few conversations before, I
Yes.
think to me, what can Ashley do to get more people to see who she is? I think that's something that I really want to focus on today. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm very excited for this. But for everybody that's watching this, show some love down in the comment section. Ashley is crushing it, and I'm ready to get things started to give you a lot of value tonight.
All right. Perfect. Hey, everybody. I can't see you, but nice to see you, baby. So excited to be here. Like Nick said, we've had multiple conversations since like last year, like November, October, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I think that's when
multiple.
you first joined our Facebook group. Yep.
Yep. Yep. And so we've had different conversations about like, hey, like I'm thinking about this. Like, what do you think about that? Like, and Nick always, you guys know this, like he always gives amazing value and amazing advice and very actionable advice. And so it's been, it's really been great and I really appreciate it. And I am so excited, like I told you, I'm so excited to be here and to do this today. So,
I love it. I love
all
it.
right.
Well, introduce to us who you are, a little bit like of your kind of like your background, who you are, and then after that we can get things started.
All right. Yeah. So I'm Ashley Bryant. I have a copywriting company, Ashley Bryant Copy, where I help sustainable and holistic e-commerce brands, help a lot of other people too, but ignite their brand through email marketing, website copy, and PPC ads, so Facebook and Google ads. I've been doing this for 3 years now. Kind of got into it as kind of like a last resort. I was living in China for a little bit and came home to Las Vegas, where I'm currently at right now. Came home for what I thought was just going to be a vacation. And unbeknownst to me, I left 3 days before China decided to lock their doors because of coronavirus. And I just kind of was back in Las Vegas, like, well, now what? I had two blogs at the time before that for like 5 years and always loved to write. And so it was kind of like, well, what are you going to do? And jumped into copywriting. And it's been, now we're here. Now we're here today.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
it.
I love it. I love it. It's a powerful story. I love it. I love it. Well, let's kind of dive into this because I really just want to do just an audit of everything
Mhm,
from the marketing, the offer, the pricing. So I'm going to be asking you a few questions first.
mhm.
Let me actually take my notes out. This way we can kind of get things cleared up together. So I'm going to put this up. I'm going to be asking you a few questions first. And then
Mhm.
after that, we can get things started because to me, these questions ultimately allow us to get clear on what's really the bottleneck that's that's not allowing us to get to the next level.
Okay.
All right. So, questions for Ashley. All right. So, my first question to you, Ashley, is what is your marketing strategy to getting people to notice who you are?
So we've talked about this. So as of right
Mhm,
now, it is just showing up on social media. So TikTok
mhm,
recently, Instagram, and just providing value. I have
mhm,
everything pretty much ready for my Facebook group. I will upload the
mhm.
video today so then I can start, so that I can go
I
ahead and
love
start
it.
inviting people. Yes, sir. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of it, so we had a conversation about this and it was a lot of cold pitching, job board deals, Facebook
Hmm.
group, oh, I'm hiring type of stuff. And that's kind of how I have been getting my clients. But June of last year, like everything just kind of like slowed down and it wasn't really working the way that it had worked before. And it was really that like feast and famine. And I was like, yo, I gotta get like some leads. Like I gotta get something going on here.
For sure.
And I ended up, going to an agency and that was fine. But then again, now we're in that space of I don't have nothing. I gotta get some leads here, right? So
For
that
sure.
that is really what's going on right now.
Mm.
Prior to
Hmm.
that, this was nothing, right? So it was a lot of fear, like we talked about, like a lot of fear of like being
Hmm.
seen, about like telling my story. And so I'm going to tell my story now just to practice. So
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2015, and did a lot of things for the MS community. Yeah, MS community. And that was basically like all I talked about for 5 years. And so when I decided that I didn't no longer wanted to be Ashley with MS, I wanted to be Ashley, then I kind of got through this like, well, shit, I don't have shit to talk about. Like all I've been talking about for 5 years was like living with MS and like what to do and what not to do, right? And so finally finally like turning a corner, I guess you could say, of all right, no, I do have things to say. Like I've been doing this for 3 years. Like
For
I've
sure.
worked with clients, I've worked with a lot of different clients, so I have a lot of things to like bring to the table. So just kind of getting like my mindset in a better place so
Hmm.
that I am able to have a marketing strategy, because I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, other copywriters, like it's very easy for you to tell your clients what to do, but it's not so easy to do it
For
yourselves. So
sure. For sure. And trust me, you're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone. It's definitely easy for us to tell all the clients, yeah, do this with the copy, do this for the marketing strategy so everybody can see the copy. But I think to me, it could be a little bit challenging for us as copywriters to market
yeah,
ourselves, right?
100%.
Like I was talking to our clients about this just now in our coaching call about this concept of marketing. Like one of the biggest things, like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Are you familiar with Ryan Pineda?
Mm-mm,
Rafi Abajuela? Are you familiar with them?
mm-mm. But I'm gonna write them down right now.
Yeah. So I've been listening to a podcast from them recently, and what Ryan was basically breaking down was that the ultimate foundation of any kind of business, whether it's a service-based business, online business, whatever the case may be, it's our ability to market.
Hmm.
It's our ability to market and get attention, right? Get attention so more people can now notice us. Like you could be really good at sales, but if we don't have a marketing strategy that's going to get more people to notice who you are, see your worth, see your value, that's going to have the biggest impact to our ability to actually close leads, our
Right.
ability to actually get deals, right? Like you could be like, here's the thing about it, like we'll be talking a little bit more about your offer because I know you're selling at high ticket right now, which is great, and you should be. But I think to me, if we can have more leads, because what I'm hearing though, lead generation is the biggest challenge, I heard you say. We'll be talking about that. I think to me, if we can have a system in place that's going to get more leads to notice who Ashley is, see her worth, see her value, build trust with her, this is going to make the high ticket offer that you have sell a lot more consistently.
Hmm.
Sell a lot more consistently. Because again, right, we can have this high ticket offer, but if we're not getting leads to see it, how are we going to be able to enroll people?
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's really the core thing. So it's number one, making sure that the marketing system in place. All right, awesome. So we got social media doing TikTok, Instagram, and you also built a Facebook group, which is awesome. All
Hmm.
right. Now, my next question to you, Ashley, is in the last, I would say 90 days,
Hmm.
how many calls have you booked?
So the number is up to 10 now.
10? You booked
Yeah.
more calls.
I
Hey,
booked
that's
more
what we like
calls.
to
I was a
hear.
little busy last week. Yeah.
That's what we like to hear. How are those calls for you?
They were good. They were actually like more of, planting seeds calls. They were not like a, I want to move forward right now. But I was able to plant some seeds and we'll see what comes up for it. We'll see if they know somebody. Um, so I mean, that's better than what I had before, which was zero. So we're gonna go with it. But then also yesterday, I met with a gentleman who, like in person, I met him and he has a supplement brand, and so he is going to need some help with product
Nice.
description and Facebook ads. So I just sent him a message like literally an hour ago to make sure
Nice, nice. So
he
that's a
can
good
call.
opportunity right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Love it. So we have 10 calls in the last 9 days. We're gonna be talking about this because I
Mhm.
think the biggest thing that I'm realizing, as even for myself, as I'm even growing my own business right now, is if we're not talking to enough people, especially if you're selling at a high ticket price points, like let's go to the next question because it's
Yeah.
gonna connect with the book calls.
Okay.
What's your pricing right now? What are you pricing your services?
Okay. So I have an offer right now that is going to include um Google Ad Management, Google Ad
Hmm.
Writing, um,
Nice.
email and product description. And then doing, the analytics and everything behind that. And so that is going to go for 7,000.
7,000.
7,000.
$7,000.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you see where a little bit of a challenge is right now,
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah,
right?
I
So we
feel it.
have 10 book calls in the last 90 days, right?
Hmm.
We're selling it at $7,000. So understand the price point that you have is solid. Like I want you to understand you have a really good offer. I see the value of what you have. But to me, this right here, we need to tweak.
Oh yeah. No, I
This
mean, I
right here,
don't,
we
I
need to
don't
tweak.
disagree. I 100% agree. Like, I don't disagree with you. Like, I know that, you know, that is definitely, like we talked about, that is definitely where the friction, is, right? So
Mhm,
I'm just not talking to enough people and then necessarily talking to the right people.
mhm. 1,000%. And talk a little bit more about that. So when you say you're not talking to the right people, is it that they're not financially qualified?
So I think that it's a time thing, like it's a timing thing. So they'll,
Hmm.
I have a questionnaire that I have people fill out so that I can understand like where they're at. Um, but you know, they will say, "Yeah, I'm ready to get started." Now it's no, we're not really ready to get started
For sure.
before we even kind of get into pricing. So it's not like, oh, I told you the price and now, no, it's just you weren't upfront. So maybe you didn't think that I was going to take the call or like whatever it is. Like, oh no, actually
Mhm.
this will be kind of, at the end of the year. Actually, like
For sure.
maybe not this type of thing. So it's definitely like you're not ready. But then also, um, for the couple of times that I didn't have them fill out the form, then it was, a pricing thing. And that's me. That's completely on me because I did not qualify you before we got onto this call. It was just
Okay.
like, okay, let's get onto a call, which y'all don't do that. It's a waste of time and your energy. So,
For sure. For sure. My next question to you then, because this right here is very, very important. Do you have anything that's going to get people educated enough on who you are before they jump onto a call with you? So, for example, do you have any like client interviews of people that you've worked with in the past? Do you have any content? Like, do you have train like a library of resources for people to see before they jump onto a call with you? Because,
so go ahead.
yep, yep,
So
yep.
there are, like
Hmm.
I have, if you go on my website, there are testimonials there.
Hmm.
On my Instagram, there are testimonials, and then also like there are case studies as well. But I
Okay.
see what you're saying because I don't know what people are doing, right? So like if you don't go there and you don't see these things, then maybe they don't have that information. Maybe it's not visible and it's not like I still kind of like, well, I don't even know who this girl is. Like she at the gate telling me, you know what I mean? So I see that.
1,000%. So the biggest thing, it's like before, especially at high ticket, like if you're selling at low ticket, which it's a different ball game,
Right.
right? If we're selling at $100, $200, like you don't need a lot of education. But if you're selling it at $7,000, we need some form of video resource or resources that's going to get people to be like, wow, I see what Ashley can do. I'm seeing all these client interviews. I'm seeing her worth. I want to work with her. Like, for example, Ashley, have you ever thought about building your own webinar for your business?
Yes, it's something that I want to do by the end of the year.
Highly recommend doing that. Highly recommend doing that. Like right now, what I'm doing with all of my clients is I'm helping them build out their webinar.
Hmm.
Like one thing that I've realized, like I've I've came to the realization even after, because man, I wish when I was a copywriter, I built my webinar out. My mentor at the time was telling me to do it. I was like, nah, I don't need to do it. But after building my coaching business, I've seen the value of what a webinar could do. So what I recommend for you, Ashley, especially since you're selling at high ticket,
Hmm.
build out a webinar. So what a webinar is, it's an online seminar that ultimately tells your story, how you're different
Hmm.
than any other, for example, well, copywriter in the industry, because right
Yeah.
now it's for copywriters in the industry, and it sprinkles some testimonials. So, for example, what I do whenever somebody books onto a call with us, what I always do is, of course, you booked onto a call with me before, where I was like, hey, watch these free resources, watch these trainings. And the reason why I do that is because I want to make sure people are educated enough to make a decision to work
Yeah.
with me, right? And the worst thing that you can do is you get to onto a call, especially if you're selling at a high ticket, right? Especially if you're selling at high ticket, like we're selling at a high ticket price right now. Now I
Hmm.
know since we're selling at high ticket, sure, since we're selling a high ticket, sure, that's gonna, help us. But I think my belief is like if somebody's not educated on who we are, they're never gonna want to work with us. They never want to invest because there's no trust built. There's no trust built. So if we can create some form of system in place that is going to allow somebody once they book onto a call with you, you send them a webinar, you send them your website that you have, you send them some client interviews so that they can see who Ashley is, they can see the value that she provides, they can see her worth, they can see why she's pricing her services at such a high ticket price point. That's going to help the sales process a lot more, right? So for example, what I do when somebody books onto a call from us from our Facebook group, I'm like, hey, watch these 5 resources, right? I have my webinar, which is the 3 secrets. This is more so for my coaching business. I have
Hmm.
some form of webinar. And what does the webinar do? Right? It allows people to see my story from me getting arrested to me feeling stuck in school to then figuring out copywriting. Then I'm sprinkling some testimonials to build my credibility. And then after that, I'm like, hey, I have this coaching offer.
Yeah.
So if we can build some form of webinar where you have in place when somebody books onto a call with you, where it shows Ashley's story, because you have it. I want to let you know, you have a powerful story, miss. Very powerful story. If we can showcase that to people, see maybe some challenges that she went through. So then her learning about copywriting, to then, showing people how she writes copy, right? Like that's really what this is all about. Like, because for example, we can say like we're really good copywriters to business owners, but what makes you different compared to every other copywriter? And
Yeah.
it's how you write your copy. So whether that's, I know, for example, some of my clients, they do research first. For some of my clients, they understand the market. They understand their clients before they write their copy. But we need to figure out what makes Ashley different. How does she write copy different compared to every other copywriter in the industry? If we can showcase that into the video, we have the business owner see that. We sprinkle some testimonies to build your credibility. You're jumping onto a call with somebody who's more educated on who you are. It's making sure we're talking to educated leads.
Yeah.
It's making sure we're talking to educated leads because sure, you could be really good at sales, but I'd rather take the sales call of somebody who knows who I am rather than somebody jumping onto a call with me and being like, Nick, I have no idea who the hell you even are,
Okay.
brother.
Yeah.
Right? I have no idea who the hell you are. Like when I hear those things, like I hear a red flag, like, okay, this person needs to see more of my content. They need to see more
Mhm.
of my stuff and who I am. They need to see more, whether that's my webinar, if they haven't seen it, or some client interviews, or some of my content. They need
Right.
to see this,
Hmm.
right? And I think now for you, Ashley, what I'm seeing though is like we have a great offer. You have a great high ticket price point, and I don't think pricing is the issue, not at all. I'm glad you have it at this price because that shows that you're valuing your worth. But to me, I think it goes back to this. What
Yeah.
is the marketing slash sales process that's going to get people educated on who Ashley is? And that is the video resources, the client interviews, the website, the case studies, the webinar,
Right.
building some form of webinar. You see where I'm coming from?
No, 100%. 100%. You're making me like you're again like like stretching my comfort level. I just
I
got comfortable.
know
I
it's
just got
scary.
comfortable with the Facebook group, man. Like,
We just getting started in the copywriting dojo. Come on.
no, I know, I know. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I gotta get over it.
Yeah. It's don't get me wrong, it's a pain in the ass to build out, but I promise you it's worth it. It's worth it. Because you got to think about it as well. Once you build this thing out, it's just
Mhm.
rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. You get enough people to see it, you get enough people to see it, you get enough people to raise their hand and be like, boom, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right? Like even for example, I did my webinar last week inside my Facebook group. And here's the thing too. I built it one time, and after that, I'm just doing it every two
Rinse,
months.
rinse, replace. Yeah.
Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, because I know it works. Like you don't need like for it to be validated. My philosophy is that you run it for about 60 to 90 days. If nobody signs up, maybe you need to tweak the webinar. But if you
Hmm.
get at least one person to sign up after watching that, you have a validated webinar. And then after that, it's just getting more people to see it, get more people to see it, get more people to see it. And like I mentioned before, the whole structure of it, it goes number one, what's Ashley's story? How is
Hmm.
she different than any other copywriter in the industry? What makes her different? What makes her unique by how she writes her copy? We sprinkle some testimonials to build your credibility to show that you actually have gotten results, which I know you have. After that, we just get people to see that, get people to see it. Boom, 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 boom. Is that making sense?
It makes total sense. It's just like we talked about before. It's very simple. It's not easy, right?
Yeah,
Really simple. It's not easy.
yeah.
Just doing it.
Business, it's simple, but it's not easy to build out. And trust me, I get it. I get it. I get it. But like I said before, if we can do this, like let's even have after this, let's book onto another call so I can give you some tips on how to build this out.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, this right here is a game changer. Like I'm having like I'm having like back-to-back one-on-one calls with all my clients building out their webinar. Right. Like I have one of my clients who's almost done with it. I think Ethan is almost done with his. Right? And then
Okay.
after that, it's like, how can we get more people to see it? Like he has his own Facebook group. How can we
Yeah.
get people to see this webinar? We're gonna post inside the group, get a lot of traffic to it. That's really the biggest thing. All right.
So
Awesome. So, hmm.
so I know it's in your Facebook group. And I think that I know for sure that I watched it. I watched it a few times before we had even jumped on the call.
Yep.
Because I wanted to make sure that, I knew who I was talking to. But
Yep.
also, right? But also, did correct me if I'm wrong, you have that on your personal page too, right? Like, well, like your
I
business,
don't have my webinar
like
on my
not like
personal.
so you
I
just
don't
have
have
it.
it on there.
Oh,
I
okay.
probably should. I probably should. I just don't. I just have my testimonials.
Okay.
So, for example, like on my profile, I think for my profile, if I go on it, let's go to Nicholas Thorpe. No, let's go to, yeah. So if I go to my profile,
Hmm.
yeah. So I kind of view my profile and I highly recommend doing this as well. Like kind of like my own, like a website in a way,
Okay.
right? I see we have some people jumping on, which is cool.
All right.
So if I go to my website. Yeah, so if I go here, so this is like my pinned post, right? So it's a
Mhm.
client interview with me and Keely. So essentially, again, some form of education before somebody jumps onto a call with me. So they
Right.
could see that I've worked with people in the past, right? And even when I was a copywriter as well, I think I didn't do client interviews, which again I wish I did. My mentor was telling me to do it, but Nick being Nick was not doing it before. But I realized after building this coaching business that it's definitely important. But as I was saying before, I think my original one was like a transformational post. But
Okay.
now is some form of client interview to get people to see this. If they ever go on my profile and they want to just kind of glance through, they could watch this and be like, oh crap, Nick has some great credibility. Like,
Yeah.
oh crap, this is some really good stuff. So for you, Ashley, like if you had and you do you have case study videos of
I'm like you. Like I just sent, I have like the kind of like wrap up questionnaire, but it's not anything video related. And I'll tell you why, because I know my clients and it's going to be, unfortunately, I'll get a response with the written. But if I want you
Mhm.
to video something, or if you, if I say like, let's get on a call, we'll never have that call. I'll never get the video and I'll never get a testimonial. So it's
Do
just easy.
you gotcha? So whenever you ask for, it, I guess people don't pursue with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like my longest client, right? Like my biggest and like my
Hmm.
longest client that I had for like 2 years, like, hey, can we get on, let's do like a live. Can we do this? Can we do that? And it was always kind of like, I'll write you
No,
something. Right? Like, no,
gotcha.
I'm good. Like, I'll write you something, but like, no, I don't want to get, like Ashley, no, I don't want to get like on camera. Like I don't, I barely want to get on camera for my own things. I don't want to have to get on camera for your stuff.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing. That's a tricky thing. How are you approaching it? Like, are you like yeah, kind of walk me through how you're approaching it. Like, are you calling them or is it like more on message?
So, with my big client that I had, it was anytime after like we had like a big win and like
Hmm.
we had monthly calls anyway. So it was kind of like, can we do, like a, wrap up of this big win? And no,
Still no.
still no. Um, and then with clients after the fact, right? Like other clients, like small projects, big projects, whatever. Um, I don't know if maybe I think it was like the psychology of like being told no from
Mhm.
somebody that I worked with for so long that it was like I don't even want to like ask. So I have my questionnaire. Just if you could answer these questions and give me a quote, whatever, and I could just put it on my website and my social. And
Gotcha.
what's that look? What's this look?
Gotcha. So it sounds like it's more so a client thing. Like they're kind of scared to get on camera. That's
Yeah.
basically what I'm hearing. Okay. Yeah, I think it's funny too because I know one of my clients, Josh, he felt that before it's so crazy because before he felt the same way too. And then after I kind of broke down to him to kind of get client interviews, like the client's like, yeah, I'll jump on that. I don't know. I find that it's so funny with some people. Like some clients be like, sure, I'll do it. Then some other clients are like, not really. It's a sticky situation. I think to me. Like, are you close to your clients?
Some yes, some no.
For the close ones, because I think there's probably a better chance of them wanting to do it. Are you telling them like, hey, this is something that could be really important for your business? Like you can promote yourself, you can tell what you're doing. Do you phrase it that way? And still no. Really?
But
Very
okay, so
interesting.
the one that I was like very, like very close with,
Yeah.
like as close that I would probably get with a client, right?
Hmm.
But she really was like, Ashley, like I barely want to do the things on videos that you want me to do to sell my stuff. I don't want to do like just matter of,
Yeah.
from New York, matter of fact, like I don't want to do this. Like I don't, and so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
all right, man, like. well, I'm not gonna force you. Like you said no, like that's
For sure.
I'm gonna let it lie. Like I'm not gonna bother you. Like you said no,
Yeah.
it's fine. No means no.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's only so much you can do. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like for yourself, like you're phrasing it the right way. Yeah, it's a sticky situation. I think we just got to get more clients. I think
I
that
think so.
that would be my simple answer. We just got to get more clients. That's
Yeah.
really what it is. We just got to get more clients. Right?
Mhm.
But I think though, but you're getting clear on this, on how this can help you sell from the education piece, whether
Yeah.
that's the webinar, the client interviews. They can help you sell this.
Hmm.
Awesome. Cool. Now, so that those were my questions that we wanted to get clear on. So the next piece right after, oh, another question. Do you have content that talks like do you have any like a content library where people can, if they ever wanted to do some form of like to see if like how knowledgeable you are as a copywriter, do you have any content that they can see? Do you have this?
Like, do you mean like freebies? Do you mean like
Yeah, so for example,
blogs?
like
Like what are you talking
yes.
about?
So
Okay.
whether it's a blog, whether it's like a video, right, of
Mhm.
you just breaking down tips on why copywriting is important. Like, do you have any form of content that's educating people on your knowledge on copy? Do you have any content on that?
Yeah, so I have a few blogs that talk about, different
Okay.
things for e-commerce. And then I have two freebies. One goes again, like talks about my framework that I use for product descriptions and why I do it and what the results were when I do this. And then I also have one that talks about how to make sure that you are speaking in the way for your ideal customer and like the different tools that I use for that. And then I have a
Hmm.
paid one that goes into it a little bit deeper that's going to ask you it's the right questions that you need to ask to be able to put together a customer avatar that is
Hmm.
going to be effective for you. And then one in
Okay.
the mix for ads, for Facebook ads.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Okay. So you have some form of content. Do
yes.
you, my next question then, do you have any video content?
Not yet, not really.
What I
And so
suggest is, what are you gonna say?
So one of the things that I was telling you that I filmed today, it's a kind of like a breakdown
Mhm.
of a brand's not great marketing and advertising and what to do to not do those things, like to not have the so basic I don't know if people are on here, but Bumble? You saw the ads with Bumble, the
Not too
dating
sure.
app
No.
Bumble? Oh,
No,
okay,
no,
so
no. I know Bumble, but I haven't seen their ads.
they were not good. So basically it was kind of so I did like a dissection
Yeah.
like carousel dissection. And so today I finished the video dissection on like how this happened, what not to do, how I can
Mm,
help, like those sort of things that you need to look out for.
good. Good. And that's an extremely powerful one because one that's going to allow people to view you as an authoritative figure. Now, the reason why I asked this question is because to me, especially in today's day and age, attention is the new currency.
Mhm.
So do you listen to Gary Vee?
I do.
Have you read his new book, Day Trading
I
Attention?
I have not, but it is on my list. It's a long list, but it's on
Highly
my list
recommend.
to read. Yeah.
Highly recommend. Really, really good information. I just bought it last week. I think it came
Okay.
out last week, right?
I think
I'm like,
so.
but yeah, it came out last week. I bought it off Amazon. Really great book.
Okay.
And what Gary was talking about was that no matter what kind of business you are, having some form of content in place that allows people to see who you are is super duper vital, right? So, for example, what we teach, right? Like
Mhm.
we'll be talking about the marketing and the lead gen situation, but although even if we fixed the lead gen situation and you're getting leads, but they're not getting enough education on who Ashley is, as in they're not hearing maybe some value in
Right.
terms of how they can improve and get results from their copy, whether that's tips on how to write a really good ad or tips on how to write a really good email to help them. If they're not getting education from the content, again, this right here, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to sell this.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult to sell this. Like if I were to keep it simple, 90 if I think about somebody going from a customer, like the customer journey,
Mm,
and I realized this even when I was a copywriter as well, is that for somebody, especially in the because we all have an online copywriting business, right? To somebody to go from not knowing who you are, for them to getting them warmed up, to getting interested, to invest into a high ticket, they need to go through a cycle. And
yeah.
that goes back to the marketing. So whether that's live content, so that's content, maybe you doing a live training, you critiquing somebody's copy. If that's you
Mhm.
dissecting a piece of copy that you saw maybe from an ad, for example, Bumble, and posting that, that's allowing people, once we fix this lead generation process, this challenge that I'll be talking about soon, once we fix that, we're getting leads seeing that. What is it going to do? Oh, wow, Ashley is an authoritative figure. Oh, wow, Ashley knows what she's talking about. Oh, wow, I see the value what Ashley could do. Like, even think about how you even entered, my world, right?
Mhm.
What I do, I built a Facebook group. You then join the group, right? So I'm getting leads inside the community. What's the next
Mhm.
step? I'm educating, right? I'm giving tips, I'm giving value. We're doing live trainings. I'm posting these things inside the group. And what it's doing is I'm having our leads seeing this stuff and they're now building trust. This way, when I'm jumping onto a call, rather than, oh, Nick, I have no idea who you are. Cool. Check out all the live trainings, all the video content, all these things to get educated so you can jump onto a call with me and then make a decision if you want to work with us. And that to me right there is one of the key things that I see right now that we're missing, Miss Ashley.
I know. I know. The thing is, Nick, like you, like I mean, like you know me, like we've had enough conversations that I think that we like know each other pretty well, and it's like the thing is, it's simple. It's not easy. I know that I need to do these things. I just get, like I told you before, I just keep getting in my own way. It's me. Like I am very aware that like I am the problem. The problem is me. Like I am very aware of this. So again, I'm growing, I'm progressing,
Yeah,
I'm doing the
you
things that
are.
I need to do. Yeah.
You are. You are. You definitely are. You definitely are. And trust me as well, I think even for I feel like we can like we even spoke about this before, right? I feel like we can definitely get into this mindset of like things just have to be perfect. Even
Yeah.
for myself as well. I gotta be like, man, I gotta make sure my content is perfect. I gotta make sure I'm not swearing too much. I gotta make sure I'm professional. Like to me, it's like I was talking to my team about this earlier. I was talking to James, my team member. I was like, man, I just want to just get things out there. I just
Yeah.
want to get things out there, even if it's not perfect. I just want to put it out there. Even if the content is not extremely extravagant, I don't have this beautiful lighting. Just get it out there. Just get it out there. What's the worst thing, right? You post a piece of content, right? Sure, maybe we don't get as much likes or comments as we want. So what? You posted something. You posted something.
True story.
Hmm. Right? You posted something. And that to me is the key to this all. You posted something. It's better than not posting anything. That's just where I'm coming from. It's better than y- you not posting anything. And like for example, let's say you put like I was talking to my client Richard about this on our coaching call, where I was like, again, we're going back to the day and age of attention, right?
Right.
Like if you think about a lot of these one hit wonders, right? Somebody makes a good music. I'm not too sure. Do you listen to rap? Do you listen to rap?
Yeah.
Do you know Blueface?
Yeah.
S- Blueface. Let's think about Blueface, for example. Blueface had this crazy song, right? I forgot how the song goes, but I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mhm.
Had this one song, blew up. Where did Blueface go?
I don't
Nowhere to
know.
be seen.
Well, the
Nowhere
last
to
time
be
I
seen.
heard he was in Las Vegas. and it wasn't a good time for him in Las Vegas. But that was last year. That's it. That's all I know about him. But it was
That's
again
all we
to
know.
your point, it's not about a song, right? It was not about a song. It was not good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's he just had this one song and blew up. After that, we have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's kind of the same thing now as an entrepreneur with your content. You can post. Oh shit.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I just put it up. My whole
I,
computer went like that. But you can post content, but then if you stop posting content, we become the one hit wonder where people
yeah.
forget about you. Where people forget about you. And to me, I don't want people forgetting about Ashley. I do not want her audience, her leads to forget about who Ashley is. I want people to see Ashley, see her value consistently for them to be like, man, I want to work with her. I know she can get me the results that I'm looking for. I know that. But it goes back to just goes back to the content.
Yeah.
Consistency with the content. Just posting it.
And I think that like the problem is too, is that even though I'm getting better at it, but it's like, okay, like all, you have like you have your content day, right? And so like you're in front of your
Yeah.
computer and you're like, I've got nothing. Like I got nothing for anybody. And instead of just this, I don't know if it's just me, but like instead of just like, okay, well then do something else or like walk away or like take a nap or whatever the case is, it's not that. It is now it's like a negative spiral of like, I don't have
Yeah.
anything to write. I don't even know you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so
I
I
get
think
it.
human nature, right? So yeah, so it's again,
I get it. But here's the thing too, when it comes to getting this even goes back to the Facebook group, right? By building the Facebook group, if we have the qualifying question, so
mhm.
I'm gonna go over it with you. So because I know you're gonna build your group out. Man, we're going through a lot of information. We didn't even talk about the book
Yeah.
calls and the lead gen stuff yet. We're going in right now. Are you enjoying this? Because I'm
I
enjoying
am.
this
I
right now.
told you I was so excited. I knew that it was going to be like this. I'm enjoying it. I hope that the people that are watching, if there is anybody watching, that they're enjoying it. Um,
Yeah.
but no, it's great.
This is some good stuff. So I'm gonna since you already have your Facebook group built out, what I want you to do after this call is I want you to have these three questions. So number one, you could take a screenshot of this.
Okay, that's not what it
So
is. Yeah, okay.
so these are what we like to have. This is what we like to call qualifying questions before somebody joins onto a group with you.
Hmm.
So step number one, it's like, welcome to the group. Please tell us the email you use to sign up to our private cool group. So this, like when you're ready to build a email list, I highly recommend it. This way you have a list of people you can always communicate with in case social media ever goes down.
Yeah.
Like I know for me, I know social media went down, what Facebook went down like last month or 2 months ago.
Hmm.
And although we all of us use Facebook as a way for us to grow our business, and my clients and myself as well, I want to make sure that I also have an emergency in the back end in case this ever happens, which is going to be my email list. Because I always have control of my email list. Even if social media goes down, Mark Zuckerberg, he gets arrested. Facebook is God knows what happens to the man.
Yeah.
I'm always going to have my email list. So want to make sure you have some form of email list. Now, again, it may not be necessary right now, but definitely think about it in the future. Definitely think about building one in the future. It's a great way to get more people to grow your email list. They
Yeah.
put it in. Hey, my email is XYZ. You import that into your email list, and now you have an email that you can keep sending daily emails in, and they get nurtured by you.
100%.
Next is what is the current stage of your business, right? So it's
Mhm.
like, are you a beginner entrepreneur, growing business, scaling business, exploding business, right? So you have to see how much that business owner is making.
Okay.
And then the third question is what is the biggest challenge you face with your copywriting? Is it not getting conversions and not having a copywriter? And this right here is how you can get clear on what type of content you can create because you're
So,
getting. Mhm.
no, 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 go ahead, finish. Sorry.
So I was going to say, because this is allowing you to you're getting feedback from the marketplace. You're
Mhm.
getting feedback on what's their challenge And now that you're getting that information, cool. Somebody goes, right now I'm struggling with my blogs. I don't know how to get, conversion from it. I'm writing all these things, but I'm not getting conversions on it. Green
Yeah.
light, create content on it. Create content on it. Because the market is telling you what they want.
So what I was going to say is that I did my questions. And
Hmm.
so the first question was the email question. The
Hmm.
second question was what are you struggling with?
Hmm.
And I
So,
think the third question was shit, sorry. I think the third question was something still along like those lines, but I don't have, the current stage because you can only do three questions, right?
yeah, you can only do three question. I
Yeah.
recommend it. This way you can just see how much the business owner is making financially.
Okay. Okay.
Right. It can be a great question to see just how much they're making financially, because I know a lot of people struggle before they jump onto a call. They're like, how much is this person making in their business? I
Yeah.
think if you have like a system in place to have that before, it makes it easier. So this is a great question to ask.
Perfect.
All right. And then biggest challenge as well, you get clear on this. They're putting in the information for you. What can you now start doing? You can now start creating content on that
Okay. Yeah.
because you're getting feedback from the market. You're getting feedback from the market. All right.
Yeah.
So that would be my 2 cents with content creation. And let me even ask you, Ashley, name
Mhm.
me two things that you know about creating really good copy. Name me two things.
Two things that like the copy that I do really well. So ads, 100%. That's like my jam. And website copy, product descriptions.
Give me one piece of tip on how to write it really good, or just give me one tip about why ads are so important.
One tip on why they're important.
Just one reason why it's so important.
Well, because it doesn't matter like where you're at, like in your funnel, like more than likely they're going to see the ad before they see anything else. So that is kind of like your introduction. And so, my suggestion what I tell people, my suggestion when you are creating the ad, some people will be like, I just want one ad. No, you don't need one ad. You need like three at least, because you need to have like bottom funnel, like they have no fucking clue who they are. Now we're warm and now we're
Yeah,
hot. And especially even with e-commerce, a lot of people are like, well, we're just going to talk about like the sale. Well, no, we need to kind of give like some information about like who you are as a brand, why somebody should even care about you, and then kind of go up from there.
that's your content right there, miss.
Thanks. Maybe I just need to call you every time that I'm trying to do my content. Like, Nick,
That's
so
your
I have a
content right
question.
there. Right there. That's content right there.
Yeah,
Video form, you can do that in a video form. You can do that and heck, you can do it in a post as well. But what I'm saying though, all the value that you just gave, all the knowledge that you have,
yeah,
content. It's content. That's
that's
content.
true. I think that like I just overthink it, like,
Yeah.
right? Because I would have never, unfortunately, I would have never been like, I should just talk about that. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just not
We
the,
overcomplicate the simple things,
hmm
myself included. We overcomplicate the simple things. We overcomplicate it. And again, it's like I'm telling you, I was talking to my client Jamal about this. It's like you don't need to be a couple chapters ahead to somebody to give them value. Like for example, that piece of that piece of tip that you gave, I bet you if we get somebody inside your group, sure, maybe some people know that, but there may be that one lead that did not know that, and
Yeah,
now they're now viewing you as a higher status because they're like, holy shit, this person knows what she's talking about.
true story.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
So it's again, we overcomplicate the simple things, but to me, you have the knowledge. The world needs to see it though. Your leads need
yeah,
to see it. The business owners that you will need to see that.
100%. I just
Man,
need
we
to get
dropping some fires or what? Come on.
exactly. You're putting me in my place. I like it. It's fine.
I love it. I love it. So We got the webinar, we got the content. All right.
Mhm.
So next, let's go to the lead generation.
Yeah.
So the lead gen is a challenge. So walk me through your lead gen strategy now. So we got social media. So using TikTok, Instagram, you built a
Mhm.
Facebook group. You know me, I love Facebook groups. But talk to me about TikTok. Talk to me about Instagram. Talk to
So,
me about that.
TikTok is going to be, right now I like did a challenge with my friend and we were just talking about small businesses because it's small business month, right? And so, um, the CTA with that is, we can jump on a call, whatever, if you have questions. For Instagram, um, the value content is there. So whether it be like a dissection of ads or it's what you should do, what you should not do, the CTA is to do different things. But I mean, the funnel from that, if they wanted to, so like if the CTA is like to get the freebie, obviously I have their email address and then we can kind of go on from there. If the CTA is to get on a job on a call, then we can go ahead and go from there. But I think that I know what the problem is. The problem is that I'm not consistent. And so when people see it, I don't know when, it's kind of like few and far between, but I don't have enough content out there that it's kind of would even like make like a difference, right?
Mhm.
So
Gotcha.
that's the not strategy that I have as a marketer for my own business.
Yep. So it's a consistency piece.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay. 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 Well, again, too, I think TikTok and Instagram work. Um, but I'm always gonna go back to the audience. Like I'm always gonna go back to how are you growing your audience on TikTok and Instagram?
So that is kind of the thing, right? So like Instagram, it's easier for me to kind of slide into like DMs or to, have like start, commenting like on different brands pages and whatever. Um, TikTok, it's still more of a challenge just because I don't
Hmm.
really know the platform. But now I kind of feel like, and I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but like now it's kind of like, okay, so now I have three things that I need to keep up with. Which ones do I really want to focus on?
Yep.
Because that's a lot of energy that I don't have.
I was
So,
gonna say, I was gonna
you know.
say, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear, what you need to hear?
Never what I want to hear, Nick, what I need to hear 100% all the time. Like, just shoot it to me straight.
What you need to hear is that you're focusing on too many platforms all at once. We got TikTok, we got Instagram. We're trying to build this Facebook group right here. We're trying to do LinkedIn right here. And all of our energy is going on to all these things, but we're now
Mhm.
focused on one thing, making one thing work. Like, have you ever heard the line of the man who tries to catch two rabbits catches neither?
No, I never heard that before in my life till today, right now. Today, you told me.
So the man who tries to catch two rabbits catches neither. Yeah, right. So essentially, yeah, right. Let's
Mhm.
I'll just go to this one. A man who catches two rabbits catches neither. Chinese proverb is still relevant and applicable in modern days. It sure means that one who does not set his priority right usually ends up achieving nothing. He starts too many things but never completes a single one of them.
Ooh.
All right.
Mhm.
So what I'm hearing right now is Ashley's doing too many things, but she's not focused on one thing and making one thing work,
No.
right? Like how have you ever heard the line of like a master is a master of the basics? Have you heard that line before?
Mm. Mm. Maybe.
So so how I kind of run my brand right now is mastering copywriting, which goes back to mastery. So a master, how I view a master is a master of the basics. So what does that mean? A master is somebody who focuses on the basic things and just sticks to it day in and day out. They're not trying to do all these other complicated things. They're not trying to do all these other complicated, strategies. They're not trying to learn every single platform. They're focused on one thing and just mastering it to a T. Like I've talked to a lot of copywriters, and trust me, Ashley, you're not the only one. You're not the only
No,
one.
I know. I know that I'm not because I have, girlfriends that are the same, like, well, so it's not working, so I'm just gonna go to like something else. And it's like, okay.
It's just a rabbit. You're spinning
Yeah.
your wheels. You're just spinning
Yeah.
your wheels.
Hmm.
And the thing is, like, if we can try to focus on so many platforms, but I find that when we do that, we don't get traction. We don't get traction. So this is why, like, I'm very big on, like, this is why you don't, like, right now I'm starting to build my YouTube channel because I have somebody who's working with me. Like, I have more time to focus on things.
Yeah.
Like, the only time I recommend expanding is when you're having more time back for yourself. Like, if you're at a stage right now where you have somebody who's working with you and you're like, man, I now have a little bit of time for myself to now focus on bigger things, that's when I recommend doing that. Like, for
Mhm.
example, I in the future, just so you don't overwhelm yourself, I recommend hiring a junior copywriter.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We talked about this, right?
Yeah,
We
we
talked
did.
about this. I recommend you doing that. This way for yourself, maybe you can get your time back and focus on other social media platforms, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I think Ashley right now, Ashley right now needs to just get something working. She needs to get something working. You should just focus on, again, focus on one thing and make that one thing work. Me, I always go back to Facebook
Mhm.
because to me, the leads that you want to work with, what can you do? Invite those leads from other Facebook groups to enter your community,
Yeah.
which to me is a very simple way. Like I know with Instagram, like you have to, I don't know how Instagram works. Like maybe somebody can help me with it. I'm not too sure how it works, but I know it probably takes a little bit longer maybe to build that audience. Like it goes back to the hashtags, it goes back to, it's a lot.
It's definitely, it is definitely like, yeah, it takes a little bit longer, to build an audience. It takes a little bit longer to, to be seen. It just, you can, it's just a lot. It's just a lot I guess in my opinion, because it is a lot of trends that you have to keep up with
Yeah.
to go ahead and to stay relevant, which is fine. But if you are somebody like myself that doesn't have like so much energy to have energy to keep up with trends, oh, besides living a life and, trying to run a business like that,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be a lot. It could be a lot. So yeah, I think to me, I'm always gonna go back to the Facebook group because I've found personally, it's a simple way to build an audience, right? Like for example, what's your Facebook group name, Ashley?
So it is persuasive.
Persuasive.
It's not live yet. You're not gonna be able to see it.
Oh, it's not live yet, right?
No,
You're
it's
just
not
building
live
it up,
yet.
right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. I'll go to my group then so I
Okay.
can showcase it to you. What's your niche, by the way? Do you have a niche
E-com.
or
E-
e-commerce, right? It's
E-commerce.
e-commerce, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Cool. Did I know we spoke about this on our last call. Did you get 100% clear that you wanted to do e-commerce? Because I know we're
Yes.
kind of like thinking about a variety of different things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
No,
doing e-commerce.
completely clear. Hold on, Nick, because I don't even know where you went. You just
Hmm.
disappeared off my computer.
Yep, yep. Are you guys enjoying this? Show some love. I see y'all. We got Denise, we got Rodrigo. Yeah, buddy. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Show some love. I see it. We got 4 people still. Come on. I'll let you know. I'll wait until you get that situated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, man. Okay, here you
No,
are.
take your time.
All
You
right.
got it?
You're back. You're back.
Awesome.
Yep, I see it.
Yep. So cool. So you're going to be working with e-commerce business owners, which is great. I think to me, we build the group, in my personal opinion. So if I go to e-commerce, like even Carrie as well, like she's one of my
Yeah,
clients.
no,
She's
so
uh
I told you that I went ahead and went and I followed. I'm part of her group.
you're part of her community. Nice.
Mhm.
I hope you're seeing what she's doing.
I am. That's why I joined. That's why I joined.
Good, good,
Yeah.
good,
I
good,
was like,
good.
I gotta see somebody that like it's gonna be worth not saying that like nobody else is Facebook group is not
Mhm.
going to be worth seeing. I don't want to seem like an asshole, but like I wanted to see because you mentioned her, so I wanted to see what she was doing so that I could make sure that I'm doing it right.
Model it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely model it. I'm very big on modeling what's working. But yeah, so again, even with Kara, right? She's in the e-commerce space.
Hmm.
All your leads, Ashley, if we just go right here, they're all right here. What we do,
Right.
we build the group, right? And now e-commerce alley scaling strategies for e-commerce owners. You get these leads inside your community. You have the qualifying questions, which you already have. We create really good content. Again, what we go through? All your knowledge, post it inside the group.
Hmm.
Client interviews in the future when we start getting more clients, jump on some client interviews, put them all in there. The webinar, when you build it out, what we're gonna do, Ashley, because I wanna have a one-on-one call with you. I'll actually send you my personal calendar because I think this will be something that'd be extremely helpful for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you some foundations for building out your webinar because I'm telling you, this can be a real game changer for you. Like I'm building this up with all my clients right now. Like even if I go to Ethan, all right, Ethan is a great example, right? Like I'm helping him build out his like we're my clients and I are going in with this. And I can see this being really good for you with having some form of foundation, having some form of structure, and just posting it on such a group. So we're building that audience and we're fixing this problem right here.
Yeah.
Because what I'm hearing leads, I'm hearing I don't have an audience of people noticing who I am. That's what I'm hearing.
Hmm.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing I don't have an audience of people following me. Like I
Yeah.
know even if things are down bad, as in, God knows whatever happens to me in terms of business stuff, even if somebody says the worst thing about me, I know at the end of the day, my Facebook group and these members are still going to be here. I'm
Yeah.
always going to have my audience. My audience is sure. Will people leave? Of course. But the audience is still getting bigger. The members is still getting bigger. The list is still getting bigger. And when the list gets bigger, the list is now seeing all this stuff. The list is now seeing all the content. They're now seeing the credibility. They're now seeing the welcome video. They're now understanding who
Hmm.
I am. And we need that for Ashley. We need the audience, the e-commerce business owners to see Ashley, to get her to join the group, to get her to see her value, see her knowledge, her expertise, and build trust with her. So they can eventually get to the stage where they get enough trust that they get to this offer right here.
100%.
So that would be my 2 cents with the lead generation.
Okay.
What are your takeaways from that? What you learned from that?
To be consistent and stop getting in my own way. And to, and to focus like on, I mean, like we talked about, right? Like to focus on like the one thing, like just one, not
The one
five,
thing.
not three, just one thing.
Yeah.
Um, but also like the webinar, because the webinar that I was thinking of doing, it was not a personal webinar. It was more of like a learn webinar. Like I'm
Mhm.
going to like go over, some copy and digital marketing principles, or like I'm going to go over, some like, behind the scenes Google ad principles. Like it was going to be something like that. It was not the webinar that I was thinking of was not, you know, me telling my story just because, and I think it's because to me, and we talked about this and I just said it, it's kind of like a, not in the forefront of my mind to like continue to like tell the world my story, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just not, it's kind of foreign to me still.
I
Because
have
it's
a
kind of,
question for
you
you.
want to know. Yeah.
When you first saw my webinar back in last year,
Hmm.
after you went through, because I've sent it to you a few times for you to check out before you jumped onto a call.
Yeah.
what was your thoughts after watching it? Did you
Honestly, my
build up? Yeah, okay. Yep, yep, and yep, as you're gonna say.
So honestly, my thought was like, he's very, very brave to tell, his story. Like this is amazing. And I think that a lot of people, um, not necessarily like can like see themselves like in your story, but can definitely understand and empathize. Like we've all made mistakes and we've all tried to like come back from them. Right. And so I think that I thought that it was like an amazing story. And again, just very brave that you shared it. And but it was never in my mind was like, Ashley, how come you can't do that? Like it was like it's very brave that he shared it. I can't wait to have a conversation with him. And that was kind of like that was like the end of it, right? Like it wasn't like a okay, like I need to do that. It wasn't like a I need to do that too.
My next question is, do you feel like, and I mean, based on your answer, I would think yes, but do you feel like you gained a better connection slash relationship with me? Like, did I earn your trust more than us messaging back and forth after
Yeah,
watching
because
that?
I remember joining the group. Remember that. And I remember getting like instantly getting like a message from you. And I was like, this is weird. And then
Yeah,
And then I was like, why does he want to meet with me so badly? I just want to kind of like check out the group and like see like what he has going on. Like, like it
yeah.
wasn't, so it helped. I guess I should say that. Like it kind of like it helped because I remember like I told you, like I was like, well, listen, like I'm not like in a space to like buy anything like at this moment in time. And so it was
Mhm.
really like, I don't want to waste your time, really don't want to waste your time. Um, if I am not in the position to kind of like work with you. Um, and so, but watching your story, then it kind of like it's kind of softened, I guess, the aggressiveness that I felt. Um,
Mm.
like
From the
hearing
DMs.
that, yeah,
Me from
from
the
like,
DMs.
like you want to get like on this call that you want, so
Yeah, yeah.
mhm, which
Yeah,
is fine. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And the reason why I ask those questions because it's the same thing that could potentially a prospect could think about it when you're messaging them as well. That's just where I'm coming from.
Gotcha.
Where the story itself, like you mentioned before, like you kind of saw, even though you didn't go through, maybe getting arrested. Like because I don't know your life story, but you said that I heard you say you saw a part of you in me from my story,
Hmm.
and I'm guessing you built some form of connection with me, some way, somehow, but that was through my story.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna go back to it. The leads, the world needs to know Ashley's story. How did Ashley become a copywriter? What was the turning point for her? What did she go through? What things did she go through
Yeah.
for her to be the woman that she is today and to be able to help people? That's just where I'm coming from. The world needs to know this about you, Ashley. And if we can put this in some form of video, some just one video that is just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, I'm telling you, this becomes a lot easier to sell.
Okay.
It becomes so much more easier to sell for you. Like what I think right here, like lead gen is a challenge, but I think the biggest challenge, and we're gonna talk about book calls soon, but I think the biggest challenge is the education,
Hmm.
the video content to get people to build trust with you before jumping onto a call, so we can sell at this high ticket price point.
Yeah.
That's what I think is the biggest thing. I think once we can get clear on building some form of webinar out, building some form of testimonials, building some great kick-ass educational videos to get people educated on who you are, Ashley, this offer, it's going to help with selling this offer. It's going to help. Not going to sit here and say everybody's going to invest. Sure, some people actually might not have the money, but I think for some people who see who Ashley is, the trust is going to increase a lot more. Like I know I can talk to two people Like I know the difference between somebody who didn't watch my webinar, somebody who has watched my webinar. The person who didn't watch my webinar, the conversation is a lot different. They're like, yeah, I'm just here, man. I'm just trying to, get this thing started. I'm just a regular person
Yeah,
trying to build this copywriting business. I have no idea who you are, but I just want to build like that to me is not a call that I want. I
right.
do not like having those calls. To me, that's unproductive. But a productive call is somebody jumps onto a call with me like, man, Nick, I saw your training that you did, that goddamn 50-minute training. That shit was
Yeah,
so long, but man, I loved it. It was great. I saw those testimonials. That was some really good stuff. That to me is a productive call. A very productive call because I know that person is has built trust with me. Again, I didn't say anything to this individual, but
mhm,
she or he saw the trainings before jumping onto a call with me, and they were, I would say sold, but like the trust built up a lot more.
yeah,
And they're more open to wanting to work with me compared to the person who hasn't seen anything from me. And that's what I think Ashley needs. That to me is a big priority of what Ashley needs. Ashley needs this.
100%.
Ashley needs that.
I
Did you want
agree.
to say something?
No, I said 100%. I agree. I'm listening. I
Okay.
agree. Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
Good, good, good. All right. And then next piece right after is now the book call. So in terms of book calls, to me, it goes back to leads. Like how many leads are we talking to daily? Because the more leads that were getting people to know who you are, that to me is going to help with this, getting more book calls. Like
Hmm.
10 book calls is great. Like I'm glad you're booking calls because trust me, I'm talking to some people, they have not booked a single call since January.
Oof.
It hurts me. It hurts me.
Rough.
But I'm glad you booked some calls though. I'm glad you booked some calls.
Right.
But what I think though is we need to up this up. We need to, which I know you know, but we need to up this up because again, actually, I'm always going to go back to this because again, this isn't like a small high ticket.
No,
This
no, no,
is
no. I am very aware that this is not like oh, it's like 2 grand. Like, what's your problem? Even 2 grand, like, I don't want, again, like, I'm not an asshole. I fucking promise you. But like, I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Um, but like I understand that, like, even 2 grand, like that's in this economy, like that's a lot. So I am very well aware that 7 grand, like this is a very small percentage of people, right? And so not saying that I don't have an offer that's less than 7 grand, but this is an offer that I just put together that would kind of like encompass everything that I have to give you, right? And that was
Hmm.
kind of like 7 grand is that's where it can't be any less than that. Like 7 grand is where it has to be.
Yeah, I agree. I 1,000. I believe you should value yourself at $7,000. Again, you have the skill set. You've worked with people in the past. You have some testimonials. 7,000 is the least you should do. I
Yeah.
believe that. I believe that. I just think the the thing that we need to really up though is just this. The
Yeah.
ability to book more calls, which again goes back to lead gen. So how are we talking to more leads? Like even today, I think we booked like 2 or 3 calls today. But
Mhm.
that's the reason why that happened is because again, if we go back to the group right here, we're growing the group. We're getting more
Yeah.
leads to the community. We're getting more leads into the group. And then after that, I have James, my appointment center, who's helping us book calls right now. He's having conversations, he's booking calls. And this is how we're able to schedule more calls in the calendar. So for Ashley now, again, I'm always going to go back to the Facebook group. To
Mhm.
me, you build a Facebook group, we have the qualifying questions, get the leads in there, and we have conversation with the leads that are joining the group. Hey, welcome to the community. My name is Ashley. Pleasure to have you. I see your biggest challenge is, getting conversions. Tell me, what's your strategy with getting conversions? What are you doing? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm doing XYZ, XYZ. Gotcha. you're giving some value, you're giving some tips to helping them out because it's allowing you to raise your authority. Like for
Mhm.
example, when we first messaged, that I don't think I was, but you can tell me, you can tell me.
I don't think that you like came out the gate and was like, "Hey, let's get on a call." Like, so I apologize if that's what it sounded like.
No,
But
no, no, no. That was where I was coming from. That was
no,
where I was
no,
coming
but
from.
you were like you were very much like just trying to figure out like where I was like within my business and what was I doing and what was I doing prior to that and what was my you asked me like a lot of questions like what is like my pricing strategy, like you asked me a lot of good questions that kind of like got me thinking some more. um but I also knew that it was like, okay, like he just kind of wants to know who he's talking to and what I'm about and if he can help me
For
in like
sure.
all of those things, right?
For
So
sure.
but you asked me like a good amount of qualifying questions and
For
kind of
sure. For
gave
sure.
me some tips, definitely.
And gave you some tips, right? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't just
yeah,
come up
yeah,
to
you
give
gave,
this like
yeah.
question, hey, just jump onto a call. Like, no, 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 no. Like you,
Mm-mm.
right?
No, 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 no. You
Yeah.
you gave me a lot of value and followed up a lot, which I appreciated. Um, because if it's not in front of my face, I probably will forget it. Um, so you followed up a lot and then, was like, we should get on a call. 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 And finally, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
now we'll get on a call. Like, let's go.
Yep, yep, yep,
Mhm.
yep. I remember that. I remember that. But yeah, right. So with the DMs though, it's asking the qualifying question, but just giving tips.
Yeah.
And then after you've asked enough questions, you got the person, they're like, man, this is really some good information. After that, it's cool. Let's just jump onto a call. And to me, that's going to help with this. But everything always going to go back to the lead part, the traffic and the leads, because the traffic and leads dictate this. Like when I hear lead generation challenge, like is my biggest problem, building my audience, I also hear again, booking calls. That's going to have an
Mhm.
impact to your ability to book more calls. And that's going to have your ability to sell more of this. Like the
Yeah.
whole funnel, like I'm always going to go back to the five flows. So the five flows, we got traffic. So we got traffic slash leads. We got the content, which is the education. So getting people nurtured by you.
Mhm.
Three is messenger. So that's just booking calls, which goes back to sales. Then lastly, just getting clients for sales, right? Client
Yeah.
success. So to me, this is a whole flow. If this right here is the biggest problem, it goes back to this. If
Yeah.
this right here isn't selling, it goes back to this, and then it goes back to content, and then this as well.
Yeah.
It's a flow. So I think if we can fix this lead generation problem, you already have the group. Once it goes live, just just get people in there. Heck, I don't even care even if it's like a friend or family,
Hmm.
just to get it running, let's just get the group running.
Yeah.
Let's just get it. Let's just get something. Even if it's just 1 2 second video of you guys, if you just saying, hi, my name is Ashley, just post the content. Just post it up there. Even if, again, even if, for, 2 weeks, right? It does the growth of you're sending out the invites, but the group is growing slow. Keep going.
Keep
Just
going.
keep growing
Yeah.
the group. Just keep growing the group. Like I recommend what we teach is to do 30 invites daily, right?
Hmm.
This way you don't go into Facebook jail. Have you ever heard of Facebook jail before?
No, but I've been in TikTok and Instagram jail, so I'm pretty sure that it's pretty much this.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's basically where you
Yeah.
can't message or you can't do anything
They
for a
can't do
certain amount of
anything.
time.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing. So yeah, so I recommend doing 30 invites so you don't go into Facebook jail. But I think to me, miss, once we get clear on this, you already have the group up. Um, we build the group, build your audience, you're having conversations, you're booking more calls. We have some form of educational content, whether that's a webinar, whether that's some client interviews, just something, just something plus your website as an addition. But I definitely
Hmm.
recommend having some form of video content up. Um, this right here, miss, we're gonna be able to sell this a lot more efficiently.
So when you're talking about video content, because you mentioned the website, are you saying to add video content to the website as well?
So you can. I was saying as in have like the webinar testimonials and the website to send over to
I
people as
see.
an
I
addition,
see. I see.
as an
I see.
addition. But you can also put, heck, put the webinar and put the client interviews as well on the website. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Why not? Right? Like even myself, I'm actually planning on putting my webinar on my website too. I plan
Perfect.
on doing that soon because I know somebody's gonna be, some people are different, as in like some people like to check out if this person is credible, like on a website.
Yeah.
I want to have my webinar there so they can see the training, get some value, and then after that they could see again, build more of a better connection with me through my training rather than me actually having to do so much of the selling. Like you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to do the selling. Your content should do the selling before jumping onto a call. Your content does the selling.
Right.
You should just do the closing. As in, are we ready to make a decision or where are we at? Like, are you ready
Yeah.
to move forward with this? Where are we at with everything? Like, that should be your job. The content's job should do the selling for you. That should do the selling for you. Ashley shouldn't be trying to sell herself as to why she's better than sliced bread, since
Yeah.
God knows why she's the best copywriter in the world. You shouldn't have to sell yourself on that.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have to convince somebody why you're good. The content should convince. The content should do it.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Any questions? Any questions? I know we went a little bit over time. I think this was, did you enjoy this? I
I
love
did.
this.
I
I
did.
love this.
I did. I don't have not like I'm not going to lie to you.
Mhm.
I'm a little tired, so I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have questions at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I will probably have questions later though, because you know that's kind of how I roll.
Yeah.
And probably even like, when we have our call. The biggest thing though that I don't think that we talked about is when, I'm inviting somebody to the group.
Mhm.
Is it just like it's obvious it's not like, hey, join my group, but like,
Yeah. I'll send it over to you. I'll send you the script.
okay.
Yep. So the script that we use, so growing the group organically. So you can, do you want me to send it to you or do you want to take a screenshot?
Send it to me because I can't even take a
Mhm.
screenshot. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's a brand new laptop, so it's
Yeah.
making me a little nervous. But yeah, if you could send it to me.
So essentially, what you would say, it's like, hey, name, I recently created a group for your niche. So for e-commerce business owners on
Mhm.
copywriting, I share content on the three things that you're going to be sharing content on. So for example, I share content on nurturing leads, getting high ticket sales, and everything needed for more paying clients through copy. Would you be open to joining the group?
Okay.
Right. So like even for us right now, like I have something that's similar.
Hmm.
Like if I go through, yeah, I got, let's see. I have something so like again, I've been growing my group for the past God knows how long. Yeah, like even Carl, if you see this video by accident, brother, I apologize, but we're gonna have to use an example. We're gonna have to use it as an example if you ever see this. All right. So recently, hey Carl, I created a free Facebook for copywriters. We create content on these things, the things that we talk about inside the group. Are you open to join the group? And my setter, James,
Hmm.
is sending these 30 invites every single day.
Okay.
So we're growing our audience. Like right now, we're not running ads to the group right now. We were doing that in the past. We kind of stopped.
Hmm.
But everything right now, we're just doing it organic. So what are we doing? We're joining copywriting Facebook groups. Hey, copywriter, you want to join our free Facebook group? Awesome. We're just sending this out. So people can say F off. Hey, I want to join your group. Hey, XYZ, XYZ. To me, it's all the big numbers game. Some people are going to say yes. Some people are going to say no. It's all part of the game.
So you're friending these people before you're obviously sending these messages.
Yep. This way, when they accept our friend request, it makes it a lot easier for it to pop up on their inbox. So sometimes it could go into the request and they
Right,
don't see it.
right. Okay.
Right. So yeah. So let me send this over to you so I don't forget.
I like your new
S-
cover picture.
You like it?
It's nice. Yeah.
Y- Yeah. My amazing girlfriend, she created this for me. So I had
She's,
to
does she do,
oh,
that's not me.
oh yep. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Does she do graphic? Is she's a graphic designer or she just was like, let me help you out?
She kind of does a little bit of the back end stuff.
Okay.
So like for example, she did like the MVP template for us. She's in the process of creating like all the live training like Canva stuff that you see in the
Hmm.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she does all that stuff. Right.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah. So yeah. So if I go to like the events and stuff, like she did all
mhm.
this, she did this, all this stuff. Yeah, yeah. So she's not in graphic design, but she's very good with Canva. So she does all
Yeah,
this for
she
me.
is.
Yeah, yeah, she does all that for me. But I appreciate it though. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course.
Yeah. But any other questions with growing the group? I know we went over a lot today. We went
We
over a
did.
lot. But yeah, any questions?
No, that was really the last one. But I
Okay.
appreciate you. You already know this. I tell you all the time, but I appreciate you. Appreciate
Of
this. It's
course.
wonderful. And I hope that this is successful for you guys. Anybody that has like any questions or like, wants to do this, you should really do it because I think that maybe you even really kind of like went more in depth on this than like our previous conversations.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I think I had a call probably the next couple of minutes after our call.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So that could be the reason. But like again too, it's like I'm very big on if people can see this, they can implement this inside their business as well. So it's
Yeah.
of course it's helping you because I'm auditing your business, but I'm also trying to help the person who's watching this so they can implement that for their business. So I like to go so in depth so people can get clear on it and be like, oh crap, that's actually a really good idea. Let me try to implement that for myself and let's see if that can help me out. So
Definitely.
yeah, yeah.
100%.
So before we end though, share with me your biggest takeaways. What were some things that you learned? I know we're going for a good hour and a half. I'm sorry. I was talking to my sitter James. I was like, bro, I love to fucking talk. I love to chat so damn much. Ashley's gonna hate me tonight.
No, you're good. No,
Ashley.
because no, also Nick, I think that you should know. I think that you know me well enough for me to be. I would have been like, my man, I gotta go. Wrap it up. Talk about it more
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
Um, no, so I mean, the biggest takeaway was again getting out of my own way, but then also, also just stop overthinking it. Like you said, like I mean, like
yeah.
you asked me that question, I went to like I mean, I could have kept going, right? Like could have kept going about the ads. So just stop being weird and stop like
The world
think,
needs to know who
you
you
know,
are. They need to know who Ashley is.
yeah,
They need to know who Ashley is. They need to know her story. Again, you have a powerful story, very powerful story. The
thank you.
world just needs to know that, though. The world just needs to know that.
Well, I included it in my welcome video. So
I love it. I love it.
I did it
Progress.
welcome that video.
Progress.
Yeah, how I
Yeah.
got started and said the whole MS thing and everything. So
Yeah. I love
yeah.
it. I love it. Well, I'm gonna send you my personal calendar. We're gonna book in
Okay.
another call because I want to
Yeah.
help you build out your webinar, kind of give you a good foundation with that, this we can get that started and make sure you're moving and thriving.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Of
Have
course.
a wonderful evening and
Of course, you
we'll
as
talk again.
well. Of course. Everyone, have yourself a blessed night. Ashley, again, I appreciate you for jumping on the first episode. For everybody else, if you guys would like to jump on next time, post audit, make a post inside the Facebook group, put audit inside the caption. This way I know I'll message you, you message me. We can get you to the second episode, whoever the second guest is. Do an audit of your business, make sure that you're clear, and then make sure you're thriving and growing. All right. So again, everyone, have yourself a blessed night. Ashley, appreciate you as always, miss, and I'll message you right after.
All right, sounds good. Bye,
All righty.
guys.
Bye-bye.